No Man is an Island, the 2020 edition. I'll tell you why I came up with that title in a few minutes. So, I've told you about our two puppies. They are now about 35 pounds and about 23 pounds, and I really hope that they are dogs now. Not puppies. I hope that they are dogs. I hope they're full grown. They are eating aplenty. Um, they've both come into their very different personalities now. Bubba's very independent. Bubba has a deeper voice, like you can tell his bark from Forrest's bark. Forrest is still very affectionate. He will not stand not to be rubbed. Bubba, on the other hand, he can handle not being rubbed. In fact, he really wants you to kind of leave him alone so he can do his own thing. But it's not the 4th yet when I'm recording this, but there have been some fireworks, and we have seen that they don't care for that so much. The other night, there were some fireworks, and I thought, let me go ahead and bring them in just in case they're afraid. And when I opened the door, usually they hear the sliding of the door and they come running to the door. But when I opened the door, nobody came. So I had to call their names, and finally Bubba came, but Forrest didn't come. So I called his name a couple more times. I went outside, and he was standing in the shrubbery, just like paralyzed, like shaking. I had to go over there and pick him up and carry him in the house. He was quite afraid. Um, I was thinking about that, and I thought I had written a post about fireworks, and I couldn't remember exactly. So I started going back through the blog archives, and I came across the post that I wrote in 2018, actually July 8th, 2018. It was called No Man is an Island, which is why this week's post is No Man is an Island 2020 edition. At that time, I was using the scripture Romans 14:7. For none of us lives for himself alone, and none of us dies for ourselves alone. I actually thought the saying "no man is an island," I thought that was a scripture. It's not. It's coming from Romans 14:7. A quote from that post. In the name of fun, we tend to forget about those who have seen the rocket's red glare and heard the bombs bursting in air firsthand. As we shoot our fireworks, we not only forget about our veterans, but we also neglect to realize they experienced these things firsthand for the purpose of our independence and freedom. Although lawful, what last resorts does our fun cause our neighbors to take? At that time in 2018, we didn't have pets, but I was concerned about our veterans. Now we are realizing in 2020 that we are interconnected in some other ways. The Center for Disease Control has asked us to wear face masks. They said cloth face coverings are recommended as a simple barrier to help us prevent respiratory droplets from traveling into the air. Okay, let me go ahead and I tried to wear a blouse that would, complement my face mask for this week's post. Our governors, our mayors, they're pleading with us to wear face masks, but many of us do not want to. Corinthians 10 verses 23 and 24 teaches us, all things are lawful, but not all things are profitable. All things are lawful, but not all things edify. Let no one seek his own good, but that of his neighbor. Some jurisdictions have made face masks mandatory, others have not. While you're not breaking the law by not wearing a face mask, is it profitable not to wear a face mask? We've all seen on the news in the past few days the numbers of positive cases. It's soaring right now. It's not profitable not to wear a face mask. Back in March, in fact, it was the first Sunday of this whole closure, I woke up with a fever. Yes, I woke up with a fever. I was very nervous, went into a little bit of a panic. I really thought I had coronavirus because that was the thing at that time, and it's still the thing right now. called the hospital to ask what I should do. Like, should I come in? They told me no. They wanted me to call the DHEC line. The DHEC line gave me a website to go to, and I did a virtual ER visit. That virtual doctor told me that I probably had a virus, not the virus at the moment, but a virus. By Tuesday, the fever had not broken, and so I went to urgent care. At urgent care, my flu test was negative, but I didn't have enough symptoms to qualify for a COVID-19 test, so they never did one. But I did a chest x-ray, and I was found to have pneumonia. I'm allergic to sulfa drugs, and I'm also allergic to penicillin. And so when you have those two allergies, it really stumps the doctors. Like, the doctor had to go Google it. They don't know what to do with a person who has those allergies. So finally, I was prescribed 3 different antibiotics for a period of 10 days. And I was told in March that I am at high risk for coronavirus for 3 reasons. One of the reasons is I've had pneumonia fairly recently, so I could have some scar tissue in my lungs. I took 3 strong antibiotics, so that suppresses the immune system for a period of time. And the other reason is because I'm hard to treat. There are some treatments that are experimental with COVID-19, but could I be allergic to those, or could I have an adverse reaction to those? So my doctor said I need to be very careful that I don't get COVID-19. Hence, I wear a mask. And it would be great if everybody else did too. The pandemic is not over. We are not out of the water yet with this virus. Breathing is not something that we can control, but we can control the droplets that we release when we breathe into the air. And the most effective and inexpensive way to do that is to wear a face mask. Back in March, I became a seamstress. I was sewing a lot of face masks. I really think that these are a little bit better, and I've been able to find these. They're like 10 for $8.99 in some stores. 1 Corinthians 6:12 states, I have the right to do anything you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. These words apply in many different situations. Yes, God's free will gives us the right to do whatever we want to do, but all things are not in His will. In multiple places in the Bible, it tells us that we are to love our neighbor. One way to effectively love our neighbor during the virus, during this pandemic, is to wear your face mask, to practice social distancing. As God's children, we shouldn't just be concerned about the risk to ourselves, but the risk to our neighbors. We have heard a lot about the risk to the elderly, but I'm not exactly elderly, but I am at risk. Please do your part to protect me. Please do your part to protect yourself. And have a wonderful week. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. Thank you for tuning in.